it's Weasleykins, and today I'll be doing a book tag. So book tags used to be really popular in like 2015, 2014, 2013. I thought it would be fun to do another book tag. So Ariel Bissett did this book tag years and years ago, and I love her. I will link her channel down below. But I thought it would be fun to do a book tag, and I loved how she did this video, so I thought I'd do it as well. So this is the Reader's Problem book tag. There are 11 questions. Let's get into them. The questions are on my phone, so I will just go through them on my phone. Let's get started. So, first question is, you have 20,000 books on your TBR. How in the world do you decide what to read next? I'm a mood reader, so I'll pick up a book, I'll read it, and if it's not jiving with me, I'll put that book down. Pick up another book. That jives with me. I was in the mood for a certain genre, so I'll have a bunch of books on my TBR, and I'll just genre it. Or if I really want to read an author, like recently I picked up Stephen King, because I really wanted to read a Stephen King book. So I read a Stephen King book. So to that question, I'm a mood reader. You're halfway through a book and you're just not loving it. Do you quit or are you committed? I will DNF the book. I will not finish the book. The end of the year is coming and you're so close but so far away from your Goodreads challenge. Do you try to catch up and how? So I did this Goodreads challenge. I would have like between 10, 15 books on my Goodreads challenge. And I never completed it. I felt like I was always pressured to read more, to just consume more and read more. But wasn't actually enjoying the books I was reading. When I was younger, I would just read for fun. I don't know how many books I read when I was a kid, 1 year. But this year, I decided to do one book. One book on my TBR. Because I'm like, I can complete one book. And then I'm free to read whatever I want for the rest of the year. So I don't do Goodreads challenges anymore. I still track my reading through Goodreads, just so I can see what books I've read this year and my previous years. But other than that, I do not track my reading. It's too much pressure for me, too much anxiety. The covers of the series you love do not match. How do you cope? I hate when my covers don't match, but truly, it doesn't really bother me if my covers of my books do not match. What I like if they're all hardback. So if I decide to get a series all in hardback, or I decide to get all in paperback. Recently, I've been loving reading paperbacks, but displaying hardbacks on my shelf. So when I was younger, I would get mainly hardback. Now I'm more into like the paperbacks, not the mass market paperbacks, but the regular size paperback books. So if they do not match, doesn't really bother me. It bothers me a tiny bit, but not really. Let's see. Question 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Who do you bond with over shared feelings? I mostly read alone. My friend does read, but we don't read the same books. We read kind of different books. Some of the books are the same, but most of our feelings are we love them. Like, she loved The Hate U Give. I hated The Hate U Give. But she wasn't hurt by it because it wasn't her favorite book. It's just a book she enjoyed reading. So most of the time if I hate a book, I talk to no one about it. Most of the time if I love a book, I talk to everyone about it. I don't really talk about the books I do not like. 6. You're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public. How do you deal? I just cry. Or I just don't read books in public often. If I do read books in public often and I'm about to cry, I might leave to go to the restroom. I might do that. Or I'll just kind of like suck back in the tears. I just cry in public, basically. I do whatever mood. If I feel like crying in public, I'll cry in public. If I don't, I'll go to the restroom and cry. Books, I don't often cry when I read books. Think about what book you loved just came out. You've forgotten a lot from the prior novel. Will you reread the book, skip the sequel, or try to find a synopsis on Goodreads? Okay, this is a very interesting question because most of the time I just read the book. But for Heroes Olympus, for the Percy Jackson series, I reread the first 2 books in the series. So I reread The Lightning Thief and Sea of Monsters. For the Heroes of Olympus, I did start reading Blood of Olympus. I put it down because I'm just not in the mood for fantasy. I'm just not in the mood for fantasy, so I put it down. I was loving it, not in the mood for fantasy. But I did not reread all the other ones. I read synopsis of the other ones because I kind of, just to jog my memory a little bit. Other than that, it depends on my mood and if I want to read them. I'm really a mood for a lot of these things. Okay, here we go. 8. You do not want anyone buying your books. How do you politely tell people nope when they ask? The only person that ever asks for books are family members, and I usually just say no. They usually ask me for book recommendations for my shelf, and I usually say no to them. One family member that does it, he stopped doing it in the last couple of years, so other than that, I don't share my book recommendation for my friend. If they have a book recommendation for me, I either buy it, they buy it for me, we just have our own copies. Whether they buy it for me or I buy it for them. Reading ad. You picked up and put down 5 books in the last month. How do you get over your reading slump? How I deal with reading slumps is I just wait till I read. I was in a big, huge reading slump earlier and I just do not read. I do other things. And when I feel like reading, I pick up a book and read. And when I don't feel like reading anymore, then I stop reading. And eventually, I will read again. Because reading is who I am. There are many new books coming out that you're dying to read. How many do you actually buy? Really depends on my excitement level and the author. So if it's a John Green book, instant buy. If it's a Rick Riordan, instant buy. If it's authors that I love, instant buy. Like Cassandra Clare, I probably won't read another Cassandra Clare except for the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices. I still need to read the last Mortal Instruments, but I want to reread the series again. But I want to do that when I'm back into fantasy again. I don't know if that'll ever happen. We'll just leave the series unfinished. Not that worried about it. I'm bad at finishing series. After you bought the new books you can't wait to get to, how long did it sit on your shelf before you get to them? I'm a mood reader. Even if I'm super excited, I may not read them. I may not be in the mood for a fantasy book. I may not be in the mood for a thriller. I don't read thrillers, but I may not be in the mood for a fiction book. See, I bought a bunch of books that I'm like, I'll get to one day. And I like to have books and genres that I like, so if I'm craving reading that genre, I can just pick up the book from that genre. Like I bought, what's that one book? I'm looking at it right there. It is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So RM from BTS read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I want to read a few books that he's read before. Obviously not all of them, because our reading tastes are vastly different. But I've never read the book. It is a sci-fi. I don't typically read sci-fis. Have I ever read a sci-fi? I can't remember. Sometimes I buy books, read them, and don't even know the genre. Or I just guess what the genre is. Doesn't really matter. That has been the Reader's Problem book tag. I truly hope you enjoyed this tag, and if you'd like to subscribe to my video, you can do so down below. There'll be a video somewhere on the screen here. Don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified when I make another video, and I really hope you enjoyed. If you have any responses or any questions, or you just want to chat in the comments below, this channel is a safe place to talk about almost anything. So anything, mainly books. So if you want to talk books down below in the comments, I will reply. I reply to most of my comments, unless you're rude. Then I will block and I will delete your comment. But if you're nice, I will comment back. So give it 2 thumbs up.